Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, yeah. Start to the ending, whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
You're listening to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude, Denton, like always. And this is our WWE edition. It's the week of breaking down SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and our segment. And it was a pretty good week, I guess. I had some goods, I had some bads, I had some building stories, I had some people relinquishing titles. We had a little bit of everything. We had a cage match that seemed pretty much pointless. There was a lot of things going on. So I think we have a lot of fun to break into. What say you?
Yeah, no, it was a solid week of WWE action.
Mm-hmm.
We had a big heel turn as well, so we'll dive into that as well. So
yes, we did. How did I forget about that?
Big
How
one.
did I forget about that? Nothing worse than in the middle of hugging your wife, you get your ass kicked.
Yeah, I know.
That's TV right there. But anyway, we're getting ahead. You want to start with SmackDown? You ready to get into it?
Well, yeah. Before we do that, I have
You have something?
There's some potential news.
We had news. Let's go.
Some potential.
All right.
And it's more speculation than anything. But there's reports that WrestleMania might be moving to May. That Nick Khan came out. He did a. The reason that they haven't announced where the location will be for WrestleMania 41 is because of what we have been talking about with what happened at WrestleMania 40. They don't want to do outdoor stadiums anymore. They don't want to do stuff where it was cold, and they also didn't want to compete with the NCAA tournament. And so that's why they haven't. The rumors were that Minneapolis was going to be the location for WrestleMania 41. But now they're saying Vegas is back in the fold, but they're looking at potentially doing it for another date. So apparently Nick Khan, let me find the quote. Where is it? I had it. But Nick Khan said that the 5 biggest premium live events will continue to emanate from the United States and Canada. So that is Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. So those are going to be in the US and Canada for the foreseeable future. So no potential WrestleManias going to London or anything. But then they've also had discussions about moving the date of WrestleMania. Usually it's that first weekend in April. But because of cold weather and other things like that, they thought about moving it to later dates. I guess the ratings for the Final Four were a lot higher than expected, and they didn't really want to compete. And it also rules out a potential, the Final Four was in Phoenix, so they couldn't have WrestleMania in Phoenix this year. They couldn't have WrestleMania in, wherever the Final Four is next year. They can't have WrestleMania there. But if they move it a week or two later, then maybe they can, and they can attract a bigger audience there. So there's still rumblings that it might be in Vegas next year. But it was all but guaranteed a few weeks ago that it's going to be at Minneapolis, and that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So who knows what's happening with WrestleMania?
Well, I'm glad Marshall and Lily will be there, but what the heck? Who the heck wants to go to Minnesota to watch WrestleMania? Here's the thing, okay? One, outdoor arenas, not just for the cold. I don't care if it's hot. They look stupid. If you go back and watch any WrestleMania where it's outdoors, it takes away from the show. It truly, truly does. I don't want to watch a wrestling event in daylight. It's just stupid.
I agree.
It is. It was just like when they used to do Bash at the Beach on the beach and whatever else WCW did. It just didn't look appeasing. I don't want outside. I want inside. Secondly, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a big Disneyland dude, and I have been upset since they started selling alcohol at Disneyland, even though I will drink it at the Star Wars place. But I was against it because the fact that Walt Disney wanted Disneyland to be alcohol free unless you go to Club 33, and that's how it should have been. You built California Adventure. That's where you go get crunk. You don't do it at Disneyland. They changed it. Now pretty much you can get drinks anywhere at Disneyland. And I just don't like it because it wasn't the tradition. It wasn't how it was meant to be. WrestleMania is not a May event. I won't like it. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it or I won't get over it, but I like tradition. I like WrestleMania. March, April comes around. I know what I'm about to get into. May irks me. NCAA tournament's always been around. They've always had, but this is TKO wants to make money. That's why all their other events are going to be in another country because they want to make money. They saw AEW make money with their All In or whatever. Now that's what they want to do. So I get it. TKO is going to, like I said, ticket prices are through the roof. Conor McGregor's fighting in Las Vegas in June 29th. That event is legit. Like to get in, it's like $600. Like TKO is just going to ruin the sport. And it's funny too, because I'm pretty sure Triple H came out and did a press conference where he said that like WWE will forever be affordable. He wants all fans to be able to come to the events. That was straight. Like I've always said, if you post it on Facebook, it ain't real. This shit ain't real. Like you post it on TikTok that you're a good person and not a bully, it ain't real. Like you just because you speak it into the universe doesn't mean it's real. That their TKO is gonna ruin the casual fan or maybe the lesser affordable fan. I ain't gonna pay $350 to go see a Monday Night Raw. So if that's how they're gonna do it, I'll never see a live event again. It just is what it is. I also won't pay $500 to get into WrestleMania in Vegas. So if they're gonna do that too, hell to the no. Tickets start at like $80. That's how it always should be. $80 and move your way. If you want to sit up close, you want to sit on the ring, sure, charge those people $5,000. But everybody else, it should never be that if you pay $200 to get in, you shouldn't be sitting level 100s and close to the floor. That's how it should always be. It's not like our economy is booming. So, but if they want to ruin it and because here's the thing, right? Hardcore fans of UFC, WWE aren't rich people. So if you want your crowds not to be live and crazy, then invite people who are just going to go, who can afford it because it's a rich thing to do, instead of the actual fans who want to go in. I want to see the salary of an average wrestling fan. So, and I'd make good money. I'm just saying, it's just I don't feel like paying that much money to go to a live event. It just
no,
and
sense. Like the ticket cost for this year WrestleMania in Philadelphia was through the roof.
Yep.
And then not only that, but all the other stuff was crazy expensive as well. And I'm not saying it won't be expensive if they move to Vegas or anywhere else, but apparently Nick Khan was saying that he doesn't want to do open air stadiums anymore. He wants to do more Super Bowl venues for WrestleMania. So indoor dome arenas type places that host places that are potentially likely to host Super Bowls. And because it is their Super Bowl, it makes sense, but it's just, they got to do something with the prices. And I completely agree with you though. Like I could see them hyping it up that WrestleMania being in May and everything, but
stupid.
Yeah, I still don't.
It's
plus,
like Mania.
Plus, like, are they going to do it? That's a long stretch from February to May with no premium live event from Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania.
Yeah, now we're gonna have two.
So
no, they'll push Rumble to.
Yeah, that's
March.
true. They can move. Yeah. So like just I don't know. Keep it simple. Don't mess with stuff. But apparently, I'm okay if they move it a week out. Like move it from April 6th to April 13th. That's fine with me. But don't do it in May. Don't put it in June. Don't jeopardize everything because like you said, they've always competed with the Final Four and they've always competed with the NCAA tournament. And I don't think that the ratings for the women's tournament were a lot higher than the men's tournament this year because the men's tournament was not very competitive at all. And the women had entertaining athletes in it and entertaining games. So I don't think they need to worry too much about that. But what do we know?
I agree. Yeah, nothing, right? That's why we're here.
Yeah.
All right.
But
well, with that,
I am glad if they get rid of I don't want to see the Undertaker during the day. I don't want to see Bray Wyatt's. I didn't want to see Bray Wyatt's entrance in the middle of the day. So, no more outdoor arenas. That's for sure.
I agree. Let's get into SmackDown. You ready?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go. SmackDown review. Cody Rhodes opens the show and talks the Bloodline. In talks. The Bloodline has been forced to move dressing rooms. LA Knight wins a triple threat match to earn a chance to face for a title. Rey Mysterio has one more run in him. The Bloodline cuts a promo where Heyman says Roman has no excuses for his loss. Sikoa says losses matter and there will be consequences. I guess someone hasn't told Solo Sikoa that he hasn't won a match in about 49
Yeah.
freaking matches.
I know.
Tama Tonga jumps in and beats down on Jimmy Uso, and Solo spikes him 1,000,000,000 times. Heyman tries to call Roman, but Solo breaks his phone. Bum, bum, bum. Braun Breaker beats Cameron Grimes to beat another NXTer. Bayley turns down facing Tippy Time and wants to give the shot to Naomi, who literally just lost to her. Heyman checks on Jimmy, and Tonga tells him, by orders of the Tribal Chief. Heyman is confused. Naomi pins Tippy Time to become the #1 contender. Waller and Theory brag about being champs, but they're not even really on the show. Logan Paul also brags about being champ. Cargill and Belair squash Green and Piper, because why not? AJ Styles has a 3-way to earn the right to face LA Knight, to earn a right to face a title shot to close the show, and that is SmackDown in a nutshell. What you got? I'm assuming we're going to talk about Solo.
Yeah.
We ain't going to talk about Cody's promo because he just
No. Yeah. All right. First of all, I have a problem with Cody Rhodes as champion. Not so much Cody as champion, but I don't like this everybody's friends stuff in the WWE. And when the Bloodline was walking to Cody's locker room, Kevin Owens walks in and he's the one that's like, there's a broom closet that way for you guys. And he walks into Cody's locker room like, you get to make that decision because you're not champion. It should have been Cody. That should have been Cody to walk up and not say there's a broom closet, but be like, Mr. Heyman, your locker room's that way. Whatever Cody does, because Cody wouldn't insult him like that. Cody's not that guy.
Nick Aldis, somebody.
But Kevin Owens walking into Cody's locker room. And then the thing is Kevin Owens is then in a match later that night to compete to see who fights Cody Rhodes. So it's just like, are we friends? Are we not? Like, I don't know. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But, that's a minor gripe nonetheless. But still, just that kind of, it's always been something that kind of bugs me when everybody's like, oh, we're all friends. And then we're all competing for a shot to take that belt from you, buddy. Yeah. Like, I don't like that.
It was also a stupid segment. I didn't know he had that because he was a champ. I thought that was just because it was the Bloodline, and that's. Yeah. And I didn't know there was only one like double door like janitor room in the entire arena. Like, there's no other double janitor room for the Bloodline to hang out in. I don't understand. It's not like these are offices.
No, I know.
It's just stupid locker storytelling.
Yeah.
But let's get into more logical stuff, like Solo Sikoa punishing people for losses. Let's get into that, please.
How is Solo Sikoa going to be the one to dictate wins and losses mattering in the WWE? I mean, look, I'm all excited about this new chapter of the Bloodline. I can't wait to see what it does. I can't wait to see how it brings Roman Reigns back and when it brings Roman Reigns back and everything like that. But I don't know. I wish the dialogue had been different. I think this segment would have hit better for me if it wasn't like wins and losses matter, right, Paul? And then he takes out Jimmy Uso, who at least he had a WrestleMania match. Like
Solo's supposed to laugh. No,
not supposed to laugh, but just like, I don't know. It just made him look like a joke because he's lost every match that he's been in, like you said, since 2023, since G beat John Cena. Yeah.
Isn't it like 49, 42? It's
I think 40s. It was 36 before WrestleMania, but I know he's had a lot of matches since then. He wrestled Seth Rollins and lost. He wrestled somebody else and lost because that's what he does. So I just don't like that whole like, oh, wins and losses matter, and then boom, but Solo's been the one that's been losing. But I'm excited about Tama Tonga.
So what does I'm just like, because Jimmy lost, I didn't like any of it. Just turn on Jimmy. Don't.
Yeah.
Why not say like Jimmy cost them or Jimmy wasn't there or Jimmy? I don't know. It was just stupid. But yeah, going to Tonga. He looked good. Dude is.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I have a feeling that it's going to lead to The Rock being like this new tribal chief of this sector of the Bloodline, and then it's probably going to bring back Roman Reigns and the Usos back together for that chapter of the Bloodline. I kind of want to see what Solo Sikoa can do as like the new tribal chief, if that's the way they're going, because he was the tribal heir that Roman made him the heir to the tribal chief. So now that Roman's gone, he can step up and be so I kind of want to see I want to see that more than I want to see The Rock, but at the same time, I also want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and I feel like this is how we're going to get there. Is this chapter of the Bloodline? So I'm excited for it, but I didn't like the whole wins and losses matter, and then clothesline to Jimmy, who lost to a guy that has also lost a lot. So
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm for everything they did, but the win-loss thing, it's just stupid. And maybe if it came from somebody else, but it came from Solo Sikoa,
Yeah,
who we've
who's
been
lost.
complaining about. We've been complaining that he's losing all the time. So it's not like we're mad at Solo. It's
No,
just the fact
it's the way
that
he's booked.
he ain't winning. So you can't just like pretend that doesn't exist. I like I posted on TikTok. If you haven't seen it, I'm all for the Bloodline Wolfpack versus the Bloodline. I'm curious on if it's going to be Jay who's going to be like the red face Sting, or will it be the blue face Sting? I don't know who's going to come up with the bat and stuff
yeet
from
face.
the yeet. Yeah, when we yeet again, I'm excited to see who's going to be the Bloodline. But I mean, nonetheless, it should be fun. It should be cute. Obviously, Roman's going to come back as a babyface, which I predicted and which I said should happen because he deserves a babyface run. I don't like Jimmy and Jay already teaming up again. It's kind of like the booking of Hook and Jericho, where like 2 weeks ago you wanted to be my partner, now you don't want to be my partner. Like, what the hell happened in 2 weeks? Like, it hasn't been that long that Jimmy and Jay were. Now Jimmy's just gonna like, but Jay was kind of like, you heard what I said, yeet. And then like Jimmy now, I mean, obviously Jimmy's gonna come back. He's not just
Yeah.
I liked it all. I liked Heyman being confused by it, checking on Jimmy. At least Paul's like a good guy. I like the intrigue of when it's going to happen, that obviously Solo is going to dictate Heyman and scare him for the next few months, weeks, however long it's going to take to get to Roman and The Rock deciding that they have their own bloodlines. I'm excited for the shirts. I am excited for the name. Do you think there's a chance it's the Bloodline Wolfpack, or are we just going to do Bloodline 2.0, Roman's bloodline, the tribal bloodline versus the final boss bloodline, like the final bloodline, the tribal bloodline? Like, what bloodlines are we getting? They have to have different names. What are the colors going to be? Are they going to be blue, red, hot pink? Like, what are we doing here? I am intrigued, but I didn't like the whole I'm here to take people out who lose.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Solo didn't get pinned when he did it. So to be honest,
I know.
with you,
I'm
surprised Jimmy didn't get the roll up.
I know. That's what I thought. I was like, he just got spiked 17 times and put through. You know, he got beaten up by Tama Tonga. I'm surprised he didn't get a roll up. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens next. I think, does this bring? Because there's a rumor going around, and it's all hearsay, that WWE signed Jacob Fatu as well, who is I think he's Umaga's son, the late great Umaga. Which I would. Is he going to be a part of this new chapter of the Bloodline? Is he going to be with Solo and Tama Tonga? When does this bring The Rock back? Is what side is The Rock on? Because The Rock is, Roman. He made a post on Instagram and TikTok where he's walking on the treadmill and he's mean mugging, and he says that yesterday I mourned. Today is day one, and The Rock commented on it. Was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, bro! I know that, Jim. You're going to come back stronger than ever." Obviously, it's teasing to a potential turn, but when does The Rock come back? Because The Rock said he's going away for a while. Like, my only concern is if Roman doesn't come back soon and The Rock's gone for a while, is this going to drag out a little too long? And that's my.
Have you seen the Bloodline story?
No, I know, but like, there's only so much that they can do. Like they got to move they got to keep it. Like, I thought maybe last week was too soon to do this. If Roman's not, unless Roman's coming back relatively soon, but I keep reading reports that he's out indefinitely. There's no timetable on his return. And now there's another report that The Rock wants to work with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, holding off.
Wrestle Cody at 41.
So we're not getting Rock versus Roman until WrestleMania 42. Are we getting Rock versus Roman at SummerSlam? Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of
maybe.
Are we like? I don't know. This was the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and I kind of felt like I'm happy to see that they advanced this story. Don't get me wrong, and that they gave us something, because compared to the Raw after WrestleMania, they kind of gave us a next chapter and something to look forward to. But now I'm curious to see what happens next and how long it takes, because the same thing can't happen every single week where Tama Tonga's beating up random people. They got to keep the story moving somehow.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the intrigue that maybe it's going to be Rock and Roman together with Jay and Jimmy. Maybe it's old Bloodline versus new Bloodline. I like that. I like the young Wolfpack. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be Solo and Batu and Tonga, and I like that. That's intriguing, but
Do
they
they cost
but that reminds me of Nexus. Like, they have no chance. Like, you can't have a bunch of young guys, and when the leader is against losses and all he does is lose against Rock and Roman, that just that there's no hope in that. Can you not talk? No, you can't. All right, I'll keep going while you're getting your mic card. Let's talk about, as I'm getting us prepped, like always when I'm fluffing you. Let's get into. Nope, you're still not back. Oh, now you're muted, bro. Let's get into, if you like. There it is. So with that said, because we got to move on from SmackDown, AJ Styles and LA Knight, part D. Obviously, AJ's gonna win. What do you like of this? Do you like it? Do you not? Could LA Knight just have, like, is LA, because he's gonna lose? There's no chance LA Knight's gonna win again and then go lose to Priest. There's no chance of that. So does this help LA Knight? I'm confused. Like, he's gonna, like, why not just have him lose in a triple threat instead of?
That's what I'm not
Rey
convinced he's
Mysterio has
losing.
one more chance, and then you think he's gonna beat AJ again?
No. I don't think he's gonna beat AJ. I think it's gonna be a triple threat at Backlash. I think it's gonna like the two guys they're gonna battle to like they're gonna fight into the crowd, or it's gonna be a double count out, and then Nick Aldis is gonna be like, okay, Cody, you're not wrestling Damien, or you're not wrestling LA Knight at Backlash. You're wrestling AJ Styles and LA Knight or something.
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
I
It's
can
going to be
see
a
that.
triple threat. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But yeah, I mean, or AJ cheats to win and LA Knight costs AJ at Backlash. But I don't know. Like, I don't think this helps LA.
Yeah, rubber match. Yeah,
I don't think LA Knight should have been involved in this at all, to be honest with you. I think again, he was just raising Cody Rhodes on his arms at WrestleMania 40, and so same thing with Kevin Owens, and now these guys want to take the belt off of him. Like, why are you having him be? I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this whole, like, everybody's friends and we're all gonna kumbaya, and then but I'm gonna get the title from you, LOL. Like, no, I don't need to see that. That's why either AJ Styles is going to win, and it's going to set up for a match later on, maybe at the next pay-per-view at Money in the Bank or something between LA Knight and AJ Styles. It'll be round 3, or it's going to be a triple threat, and it's going to, you can pin LA Knight, or AJ Styles can get pinned and protect LA Knight. So,
yeah. All right. With that said, anything else? Are you ready for Raw? Ooh, baby,
let's get
Raw.
Let's get into
this is a big
Monday
show.
Night
This
Raw.
is the meat. This is the meat. A lot happened. We opened and ended with some good shit. So, Raw review. Rhea Ripley opens the show saying she was injured by Liv Morgan and has to relinquish her title in a promo that I thought was really awkward. Liv comes out and they almost go at it. Afterwards, backstage, the Judgment Day hug Rhea, and she says she'll be back. Sheamus returns by beating Ivar in Viking uniform. Triple H and Pierce give Truth and Miz new tag titles, and they are now called the New World Tag Team titles. F that Raw and SmackDown stuff, because what if you get drafted? DIY defeat New Day and the Creeds to earn a title shot. Drew McIntyre is upset like Drake. LeRae and Hartwell defeat Niall and Dupree. Priest wants Judgment Day focus, and they need they need to get things done tonight. Andrade then pins Dirty Dom, literally like 8 minutes later.
Why?
Because why not? Jay Uso has no idea what's going on with Jimmy. Green and Piper actually get a win. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas, huh? It's a Christmas miracle, y'all. Green got a win, dude. I'm loving it.
She looked good doing it too.
She looks good. Liv Morgan says this is karma for Rhea. She will win the title, and she will take everything from Rhea. We about to get into that. Cody Rhodes talks again and says yeet. Actually, he says until we yeet again. Boom. Nia Jax also wants the title. Jey Uso then defeats Finn Balor with ease, by the way, because Damian Priest said we got to get things done tonight. Yes, sir. JD tries to jump him after, but he escapes through the crowd and goes all the way outside in one continuous shot where Sami Zayn is literally high out of his mind, staring into the sky, for who knows what reason. I don't know why he was like a duck when it's like raining, and he's like, just like he was like hanging out with Matthew Riddle 5 seconds beforehand. I have no idea what Homeboy was doing, but the shot was cool. They have a moment, and then we follow Zayn all the way back to the ring in the same exact shot. Classic stuff, really, really good. In the main event, Sami Zayn beats Chad Gable to defend. Then Chad Gable makes a heel turn and beats Sami Zayn up, literally while he's holding his wife, and ankle locks him to close the show. And that's the Monday Night Raw review. I don't think 60 seconds or less anymore because we got too much stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Was I off about Sami Zayn?
No, that whole thing was, and then Jay's out there looking up there with him.
Yeah, Jay was like
what were they
passing around Funyuns? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, what were they looking at up there? I don't like
aliens.
Was it the marquee with Sami Zayn's name on it? Because he was talking about how he wrestled in this building for the first time, or like I don't know. But it was that whole thing.
Why couldn't he be like shadow boxing or like warming up? Or why was he like
looking up? Yeah, I know. That whole thing was man.
There was a lot of awkwardness. Like Rhea's promo was awkward in my opinion. I mean, we can get through it all. We're going to talk about Rhea in the main event. I know.
Yeah,
but
of course.
There's just like good stuff, but then it was like awkward. Like where were we? Well, you start. What do you want to talk about first?
Let's get into Rhea, man. Like let's talk about Rhea because I thought she looked legitimately pissed at in her promo and
so that's why you think it was off because it was an awkward promo.
It was, yeah. I think like. I haven't heard any reports. I haven't read any reports, and I'm just speculating here, but I don't think she wanted to relinquish that championship. I really don't. I think, I think it's one of those where they told her she had to, probably 10 minutes before Raw. She didn't want to, and she came out and she looked legit. She looked legitimately pissed, and that's just that was my perception of the whole thing. And she may have been doing a really good acting job. Maybe that's.
I think so.
The
Tony Schiavone. Yeah.
Yeah. If that's the case, then kudos to her. But yeah, she has to relinquish her women's world title, the only thing she's ever loved, and she has to. Like, it was just the whole promo was awkward. And then Liv Morgan comes out and is like, ha 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 ha, and then like Rhea's like being held back by security, and then she like headbutts security, but doesn't go after Liv Morgan at all. The whole segment was very awkward. And at first I was like, maybe she's not relinquishing the title. That's what I thought. I was like, okay, she's relinquishing it. And then she's going to like go after Liv Morgan. And then she's going to like come back into the ring, pick the belt up and be like, actually on second thought, I'm going to stick around and I'm going to come. I'm Liv Morgan. Like you got a problem. Like we're going to duke this out at Backlash or something like that. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be like a swerve. And then that never happened. And then the segment just ended.
Hey, the only thing going on good with AEW. Hey, here's the thing, right? Did Liv actually injure her? Because I heard that wasn't real. Like, I'm not saying she like injured, like saying that she did get injured in that segment with the chair. I don't buy that. I think she was injured before, and that's where they did the chair. And then she got looked at, and then they realized. I mean, she's gonna be out for like 4 to 5 months, bro. Like, you can't hold on to the title. So here's my thing. I saw people screaming sexist, right? That Triple H hates women. He also hates all races because he pairs them all up together. Successfully, I might add. But let's get into the stupid
Except
AEW
Judgment
Dodgers.
Day. Yeah.
Oh no, they're all Puerto Rican, I guess. Now you're all Puerto Rican.
And Finn Balor.
Triple H is racist.
Most Irish Puerto Rican guy out there.
Dom's obviously Mexican. If you've ever seen one, have you seen his hair? But here's the thing, like in Rhea Ripley, I don't know what she's Australian, so obviously not.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. But I'm Puerto Rican now. Let's put another. I don't know what. Anyway, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's why I like Damian Priest, bro. But anyway. But here's the thing, right? Roman Reigns, literally, they used him as an example of how he defended his title every once in a while, whatever. Okay, Roman Reigns was supposed to do that. They explained why he did that. That was a thing, and that's what made his aura so amazing. So scratch that. Then they brought up Seth Rollins. He was injured. Well, Seth Rollins was injured for like a month and a half, and it was the road to WrestleMania. I'll put this on my life. If she was going to be injured 3 weeks before WrestleMania, and doctors said, let her sit, but she can go for Mania, and then after that, she needs to take time off, they would have. This isn't sexism. It's after WrestleMania. She injured Liv. Ding, ding, ding. Liv injured her. Ding, ding, ding. Let's let her cook. Ding, ding, ding. People say she's a champion who's not building anybody else. Ding, ding, ding. Let's have Liv win that title. Ding, ding, ding. And then Rhea will come back and want to take that title. And I think more is happening. I think Liv's going to be mommy. She said, I'm going to take the title. I'm going to take everything from you. She wasn't talking about Buddy Matthews. Ain't nobody in their right mind wants Buddy Matthews. She wants Dom to be mommy. She's going to join Judgment. I'm telling you, Judgment Day, get it done. We need to figure it out. They're not figuring out. Liv's going to come in and turn them the F around. They're going to start winning. They're going to start thriving. Liv's going to be the champ. She's going to be all dark and mysterious, and Rhea's going to come back for that ass, and that match is going to be flipping money at SummerSlam, bruh. Clint it shut up. Ha,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. That's it. You can say whatever you want, but I ain't listening.
I do think it's a little odd that they never told us what the injury was. With CM Punk.
Well, she had like that, yeah.
But she never was like, I have a separated joint in my shoulder, or I have a broken collarbone, or she didn't say
wrist, right?
Apparently, but yeah, because she had the wrist thing on before, like in all of her interviews before WrestleMania.
I'm telling you,
she had a brace on her wrist, and she said it was a minor thing. She's going to get it looked at, and it's not going to impact her at WrestleMania. Yeah, I could.
That's why it's not.
You
sexist.
might be onto something.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not sexist. It's definitely not.
No, and that's why they did the Liv Morgan spot. I'm telling you, this was. People just don't. They just want to be negative. I'm telling you, this is gonna work, bro.
I actually like that whole thing. I hope Rhea Ripley is healthy when she comes back, and I think she's going to come back better than ever. And I really hope
she was getting because people were. I love her. I didn't think so, but people were harping on her that she wasn't pushing talent, elevating them like Roman was.
That may have been why she was. That may be why she was so pissed off in that promo. Like maybe somebody talked to her in the back, like, "Hey, there's this perception out there that you're not pushing people, and you're not in." Because she, in my opinion, she looked really mad when. And
she did.
Again, could be acting. Probably a lot of acting involved in that, but I think, behind every just kidding is the truth, right? And so I was like, okay, like she's maybe there's a little bit of truth to this. So who knows? But but the segment was awkward in general. But
because usually it's like a boo-hoo, like I can't believe tear, like, and I'm just mad that she introduced her new wig and now our weave and now we're done with it because that hair is holy waka. I always liked her short hair, but then she came out with that long hair and I was like, okay, mommy, okay.
I like your idea of Liv joining the Judgment Day, but I don't know. Nothing will ever beat Dom and mommy together. And
no, but just imagine when she comes back and Dom's like trying to be tough, but then awkward because that's original mommy, and now he doesn't know what to do, and they're fighting over Dom. Like this is like
it's gonna be good stuff.
I'm telling if they do it, I don't know if they are, and I
may not.
I stole that idea from Bully Ray. That's what Bully Ray came up with on Busted Open, and the one episode I've listened to this week, and that's what he said. And I was like, that's a good freaking idea. And then when I went back and watched it, I was like, no, she says everything. She literally says, I'm taking everything from you. She says the title and then everything. Why say that unless she just was improvising? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it because the one thing I don't want to see happen is because Rhea Ripley's out, and I made a TikTok about this, but I don't want to see Judgment Day fizzle out. I don't want them to just fall into obscurity. I don't want them to break up because, now Finn Balor's stepping up as the leader, but Damian Priest is the leader. Oh, well, I'm going to fight Damian Priest at SummerSlam. Like, I don't want that. I want them to stay together. I want them to stay stronger than ever. So if bringing Liv Morgan in does that, then I'm all for it.
What did the fans want to do with Rhea Ripley? They wanted to cheer her, right? But they couldn't fully because of Judgment Day. She comes back. She wants Liv. She wants Judgment Day. And they go, you know what? You're right. We're all for Liv. They have a thing. And then they put the beat down and they support her. And they all join and side with Liv instead of, because they've been successful, now Rhea's the biggest female babyface in the business. I'm telling you. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying this is like
it makes
printing
sense.
Money. Triple H, I know you listen. Take it.
And apparently too, on this episode of Raw, we found out that next week we're going to crown a new women's world champion, but they didn't say how. They didn't say there's going to be a tournament. They didn't say there's going to be an over-the-top battle royal.
Nothing.
They just said we're going to crown a new champion. And like, I'm curious to see how they do this, what they're going to do, because I have a feeling that Becky Lynch is going to come back and win that championship or something, but they need to put
Did
it
you
on
see
Liv
Charlotte?
Morgan.
Charlotte posted about it, and the internet was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
oh no."
I could see it. Yeah,
they're giving it to Liv, bro.
I hope so.
There's
Yeah.
no other way. This is
But
like,
how do they do it? I'm curious to see, like, do they do it in a stupid battle? Don't give it away in a battle royal, but
No.
like, I don't know but don't do a
Liv
tournament.
and Naya's the only one who said, "I want it." I guess nobody else does. When Nia said that, she's like, "I want the title." I'm like, Like, that was like when on NXT, when Dragunov's like, "Who wants to face me for the title?" And they actually had everyone trying to get at him. That was brilliant. I always hate open challenges and only one person comes out. Like, what the? If you don't want a title shot given to you, then don't be in this. Everyone should always be running. I don't care if it's the IC title, the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
Actually, people chase the 24/7 title. That was more important than a title shot. If Dragunov says, "Come out and get me," it should be people fighting over it. There should be no like,
awesome. Yeah.
"Oh, I'll just sleep in the back and wait." No, like,
oh, you want this one, Trick? Okay, I'll wait. You go get him.
Yeah, no, punch Trick when he ain't paying attention. He should want that damn title shot. And speaking of punching people from behind, let's talk about that main event, dude. We all saw it coming. This is where I always say predictability. It's okay sometimes. The crowd knew so much that Gable was going to turn that they booed his ass on his intro
before the match started.
They booed him. They knew it was coming. They're like, "Dude, you're not winning this match. You're gonna turn." They booed him out of the building, and Sammy and them were trying to like ignore it, like, "Oh shit, they know this is gonna happen, but let's like just like shake hands and be cool." But the best moment had to be him making out with his wife, and and he grabbed him mid hugging and kissing his wife and suplexed his ass. Just imagine, you have a wife. I don't anymore. Imagine kissing your wife and someone comes up from behind you.
Come up and suplex
and I just suplex you. Why you not, like, how do you, like, getting your ass kicked is okay. We might all get our ass kicked one day here or there, right? But the fact that you're doing it while mid hugging and kissing your wife in front of your kids, and I'm like, dude, it's over. I'm going back with Live Zone. Like, just imagine. Just imagine.
And then like, the worst part too is that's fine, suplex them. But then you have them locked into the ankle lock on the turnbuckle.
Staring at her.
Yeah. I mean, damn.
You sleeping with me tonight, baby.
Yeah. No, that was. I mean, we all knew it was coming, but man, it was well done. It was done well.
It was.
Apparently, as the show went off the air, they were chanting "F you, Gable," which is exactly what they wanted. So, I guess the happy-go-lucky Chad Gable is gone. I guess this proves to me that Sami Zayn beating Gunther at WrestleMania was the right decision because it's going to lead to this, and this is how we get to Chad. I think Chad Gable's going to take that belt off of Sami now. And he's going to run around as the new heel Intercontinental Champion. And
agreed.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. This is it's great storytelling.
I agree. Fully.
What happens to Alpha? I'm seeing rumors on the X and the Creeds, and they're going to form like the new world's greatest tag team. They're going to be what Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin were. But what about Maxine and Otis? Are they going to be left to the side? Are they gonna take on Chad? Are we gonna get Chad versus Otis at Backlash? And like, what are they gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, they've already kind of not had him.
Yeah.
Tozawa now will be the main guy, and I mean, I don't know. I feel bad because I think Otis and all them are just gonna fall to the. And probably. Otis will come back as a new person. Maybe he'll bring back Mandy Rose. I don't know what he's going to do.
Whatever. Whatever gets her back. Bring it on.
Right. I'll bring it on. All right. All right. Well, that's really it, right? Nothing else really happened.
We had this whack promo from Cody Rhodes. Which
you want to talk about that? When we yeet. I mean, this is who he's been. Like I've been saying this. Like I'm not surprised. Like Connor, Nate Diaz said, I'm not surprised, mother. Like I'm just. People are like, this is whack, and he's just doing well. Yeah, that's what he's out here. Why even be on Raw? He's like, I'm going to be on Raw all the time. No matter what. I know at least he said he was a SmackDown champion. He did say that.
Yeah, he said he's going to SmackDown. But here's the thing: like this
No, he's
promo
not.
was
He's coming right back to Raw.
this
The
promo was
draft.
stupid because like there's a draft next week. It starts on SmackDown and it concludes the following week on Raw.
Mhm.
So next Friday, the 26th of April, there's going to be a draft. Cody Rhodes is coming right back to Monday Night Raw. So everyone was like, "Oh, it was his farewell." He's going to miss
Mhm.
one episode. It's not a farewell. He's going to be
So
right back.
stupid.
Yeah.
Why do they do the draft on SmackDown? Your week starts on Monday. Like, why don't we do Raw? Why did they start doing that? So it's going to be the same draft, isn't it? It's going to be freaking stupid.
Apparently, NXT. Like, I wonder if it's going to extend into Tuesday because NXT's included in it somehow too.
Are we just going to have the three of them, or are we going to have Eric Bischoff out like doing it? Like,
I hope they do it. I hope they do the three of them, but I hope they do it where it feels like an actual draft where the wrestlers are in the back. Like they did the first one. The first one was done really well. Where they looked like the Undertaker looked legitimately pissed off that he was drafted to SmackDown.
100%.
You know, John Cena was drafted to, or I don't know if it was John Cena, but he was drafted to Monday Night Raw, and everyone was excited. Or Stone Cold was on Raw, and he was excited. Like, yeah, that's the stuff I want to see.
Me too.
Their emotions. I don't want them to be like, yeah, we're gonna pick Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor as our picks for SmackDown. And then for Monday Night Raw, we're gonna pick Becky Lynch and we're gonna pick Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Like, I want to see emotion.
Well, yeah, and I also don't want to see them take tag teams as a pick and then take individuals out of tag teams as other picks. Or take a group and one in a faction, but not like, I'm gonna take Roman and Paul Heyman, but then another pick I'm gonna take the Bloodline. Like, like, wait, what? He's in the Bloodline. So you can't just like pick and choose. Like before, remember back in the days, it was like it didn't matter. If you're gonna get a tag team, you're gonna use 2 draft picks. You don't just get
what if they do that though? What if they do the Roman and like Jimmy and Jay on SmackDown, and then they bring Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa and whoever else over to Raw, and the Bloodline's just doing everything?
But that's fine. That's the Wolfpack. That's the But then we're gonna get mixed shows again. I don't want that. I'm over like the mixed branding. Keep them separated. Got to keep them separated. That's the league. I don't know if you ever.
Oh yeah, I know.
Gotta
it's a song too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you ready? NXT time, bruv. NXT was good. I was super disappointed in the main event, but let's do the review. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
The show opens with Noam Dar getting a win over Diject, people. What the heck? Shiver me timbers. Ava tells Dragunov he needs to wrestle tonight. But you can pick whoever you want to fight. It is what it is. I don't know why I'm here. Paxley says she tried, but now she wants to be champ. And Lyra is in her way. Lola Vice defeats Sol Ruka in the sexiest match I've ever watched with the help from Davenport. Natalia wants Vice at Spring Breakin' in the worst pay-per-view name of all time. I know it's not technically a pay-per-view, but holy shit, who came up with Spring Breakin'? Rich is angry. Still, he can't control it. He's so mad. And this is real life, and you guys need to stop picking on him because I talked to his dad, and he told me so. Ariana Grace wants Gigi to have a makeover. I don't know why. She's Friday AF. Rich Holland defeats Wilds or some guy. Briggs and Ivar will face off to face Oba, and Briggs finally lets me know that Ivar is not a Viking at all times. He's just a Viking when he's in the ring because he was in sweats again, and he told him, hey, Ivar, do me a favor. Get your Viking gear before you wrestle. And Ivar was like, will do. So he's like Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball, but not
Steve
really.
the Pirate. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. But anyway,
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Hey, Steve. Oh, man, now I lost my train of thought. I was just so confused by that because he was like, get your Viking gear. And Ivar's like, I will. Oh, God. You know I will. I thought he was a legit Viking. Like, did anyone tell Homegirl? Because she's like, she's still, she's still walking around barefoot somewhere. Like, does she like, wait, we're not real Vikings? Holy shit. Someone should have told me that. Oh, man. All right, let's get back to it. Hill beat Oba. Thea Hale has a forgiving moment with Andre Chase, and they hug a tear. Out comes the D'Angelo family for a promo. Tony D literally, finally brings up killing Pretty Deadly. I don't know if you caught it, but he said it. He said he's still getting investigated on what he did to Pretty Deadly. I guess, once again, 2 different universes.
Yeah,
they've never been on NXT.
They're very much alive.
They are.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They were there the following week on the draft.
It says Stacks and Luca want the tag titles, and Tony D, He wants that damn Heritage Cup. Who wouldn't, right? Every wrestler wants to face Dragunov, but Javon Evans gets there first by literally somersaulting from, I think, the floor over the... I don't know what he did, but it was insane. And then he gets his ass kicked. Sol Ruka versus Davenport, no DQ next week. Paxley beats Thea Hale with the help from JC Jane, who then fights Thea after the match. Paxley and Lyra will face off to face Roxy next, but then it turned in, that's what they said, but now it's a three-way. So we're going to have Paxley, Lyra, and Roxanne Perez in a match next week. AOP defeat Blade and Enough, or Enough, or whatever his name is. Gigi picks out clothes Ariana Grace gave her, but she modifies them. Ivar, dressed as a Viking, beats Briggs and will face off for the title against Oba. And in the main event, Trick beats Hayes in a steel cage match. Dragunov and Trick stare down after and talk ish, and that's how we end NXT in the longest review I've ever done. Sorry about the Ivar thing. I was confused by that. But I'm glad they mentioned it because I kept saying, like, why is he not a Viking? And he was once again like in a t-shirt, beard like all like braided, hair done. He was
looked
like,
good.
hello.
Yeah,
he was not even talking like a Viking. He's like, hello, chum. I'm Ivar, and I'm here to have a good conversation with you, my good lad. I would like to challenge you in a duel, and we will face that Oba character and win. He's like, but I don't want this Ivar, dude. I need you like in a Viking gear. Will do. But anyway, what you like, what you didn't like, we can talk about the main event if you want later.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I'm gonna tell you, I feel bad for Tony D'Angelo. It feels like he just had an NXT championship match at their WrestleMania, stand and deliver. And yet here he is. Now he wants the Heritage Cup. That feels like a significant step down. Why is he not wanting to go after Dragunov? Why is he not wanting to go after Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes and be like, hey, winner, I got next. You know, like I still want that championship. I don't understand. Like that just feels like a huge step down for me. That was I couldn't look past that. Like the rest of the episode, I'm like, why are they doing this? Like I like Tony D. I like their little character with their family arc and the mobster ties, even though it's very Bloodline-esque. It's a little bit more extreme than the Bloodline because they're actually killing people, but it's all for the family. But yeah, I didn't like this. Like we got to go after the Heritage Cup, and I think there's rumors out there that they killed Drew Gulak too, and
because he touched Ronda Rousey's string.
Yeah, that they investigated him, and he's never going to come back to NXT television ever again. Yeah, like that. That's why they said that's why they're going after the Heritage Cup because of something with Drew Gulak, and that they killed him off television.
Really? So Ronda was telling the truth, or they're just afraid of it and don't? Because Ronda sounds like a bitter piece of. I don't know. She's talking shit about everybody, not just WWE. Anybody.
I don't know if she's telling the truth, but apparently they did. This is all what the dirt sheets are saying, that they did an investigation, and they're letting us draw our own conclusions because Drew Gulak was killed off on NXT, so by the family. So who knows?
So Tony's gonna win the Heritage Cup then.
I guess, yeah. But
how does that work as a mafia guy? He's like, hey, look at me with my trophy, driving my Hyundai.
I know, yeah. But it just feels like either way, if they're punishing Drew Gulak, then okay, fine. But either way, this still feels like a huge step down for a guy who competed for the NXT championship. This would be like Trick Williams, who main evented the NXT Stand and Deliver. All of a sudden, he goes after the next week. He's going after, somebody else for the. I don't know. I can't even think of like how it would be.
But there's nothing less in the Heritage Cup. So
it's a huge step down. A huge step down. He's in that WWE Speed. He wins the Speed Championship or whatever they're doing on. Is
there a title?
Apparently, the belt. It's only on X, and I haven't watched a second of it, so I don't know.
No, they're just making fun of AEW. I don't need to watch that shit. This was weird. And Tony, I don't know. HBK really needs to go watch some episodes of Sopranos to really know how like mobsters work, because this ain't it. I don't know. I didn't. It is what it is. But I'm like you. I feel bad for Tony D. And why the hell would he want that cup? Dijak. I'm all for Dijak building feuds, but I mean, minus a lot too. Minus Trick Williams, who's your Dragunov ain't hot right now. Who's your hottest competitor? That's Dijak. He's like Drew on X and doing fire and funny things. You haven't lose to Noam Dar, and nothing against Noam Dar, but come on, man, Dijak's the real deal.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
No,
sneezed.
Dijak is good.
But yeah.
And like he's athletic as hell too. Like they should be
And they
pushing
had a
him to the
banger.
moon.
They had a
Yeah.
banger, but he still lost. I don't know. I don't know. I think he should be doing bigger things and better things. But let's get into this main event. Are you ready? What did you
Yeah.
think? For one, I thought it was unnecessary to begin with because why were they wrestling again? You know who was going to win. So are we writing Carmelo off? Is Carmelo going to cost Trick Williams the title next week or 2 weeks from now? What's happening here? And that it just felt flat. It felt like they didn't want to be in it. There was no more. I mean, the payoff was perfect at Stand and Deliver. Why have them wrestle again 2 weeks later? I thought
2 weeks. Yeah.
I thought it was a miss.
I thought it was a miss too. The ending was awkward too because Trick Williams, he could have just walked out of the cage, but he decided to like shut the door and then hit him with the move again and then pin him 1, 2, 3, which I've always been against pinfalls in cage matches. I feel like the only way you should win a cage match is to escape and not even going through the door, but like climbing out of the cage is how it should be. How it should be done.
I mean, I'll take either one. Just I hate pins and submissions and a still that's not.
It defeats the purpose. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, but this match just felt flat. I mean, it was still good, but the Stand and Deliver one was like it was great. This one just didn't live up to expectations, and I don't know what they're doing with Carmelo Hayes. I really don't like. Was this his swan song in NXT? Is he going to be drafted next week to SmackDown or Raw? Is he going to, like you said, is he going to cost Trick Williams the title? And if they do that, then we're going to have to get another match between these guys, which I'm not opposed to seeing, but if that's the case, then Carmelo Hayes probably should have won this one. That way, then you have the rubber match between the third match of the series, and then Trick Williams wins that one. So I don't know. This felt like a goodbye for Carmelo, and hopefully he's drafted, and and Trick Williams stays and becomes the face of NXT because I think both guys deserve it.
They do, but he didn't need another loss. His send off should have been Stand and Deliver.
He should have cheated to win. Yeah, if they were going to do it, cheat to win.
Yeah. And
that's why when
put it in the steel cage.
Yeah, when he closed the cage, I was like, okay, Carmelo's going to do something illegal. He's gonna have like a pipe or something. And he's going to hit him, and then he's going to pin him that way. But no, he just closed the cage door and then hit his move and 1, 2, 3, and that was it. It was weird.
It was weird. Does Trick beat Dragunov?
I think so. I think he does. I think both Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes are going to be selected in the draft and go to new brand, maybe Raw and SmackDown. I think that's why they had Dragunov on the Raw after WrestleMania to kind of gauge what the main roster crowd feels about him, how excited they would be to kind of see how he does against main roster talent. Not no disrespect to the NXT people, but I think that's why they had him show up on the Raw after Mania so they can kind of test it. But I think Trick Williams will win the NXT championship. He deserves it. And he'll be the face of NXT. Carmelo Hayes will go to SmackDown and Dragunov will go to Raw. Yeah. And compete with Gunther.
Yeah. And I like Dragunov. He just hasn't been it as champion. It's been flat. So, but man, that's our WWE week in review. It was a good week. Like I said, it was good and bad. They had some weird, it was like everything was good, but there were just like weird things with it. And that was one. But
two things we didn't talk about for Raw, but do you like the new tag titles?
Oh, 100%. Yes. I'm like a UFC guy. I don't mind all the titles looking the same. And they have a little bit of red tint. It says they're the tag team champions. Those other belts were freaking disgusting. But why did they not do it for the SmackDown? Are they doing it tomorrow then? Is that what they're doing?
Probably.
Today? Sorry.
Yeah, they'll probably do it tonight. And those will probably look
what they'll look like.
The Roman. Universal Championship. Yeah, exactly. They'll look like Roman or Cody's belt now and the women's championship over there. So,
but that's why they call them Raw. They don't call them Raw and SmackDown anymore. So that way, if they aren't all on the same show, you just know that that's the Universal Tag Titles, that's the World Tag Titles, that's the Universal Championship, that's the World Champion. I like it. I like him too. And then the other one was Sheamus returned, and apparently he looked pudgy. He beat Ivar, Viking Ivar.
Yeah, he looked pudgy apparently, and people are body shaming him, but he looked good to me. I mean,
didn't he admit he looked chubby or no?
He went on X. I think he was joking with the crowd who was kind of making fun of him. He wrote on X that he's just big boned, but I don't.
What was his injury? Can I ask? Do you know?
It was a shoulder. I think it was a shoulder injury, so he couldn't lift.
So,
he couldn't.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, was he pudgy? Sure. I mean, you can tell he changed his outfit too. He wasn't wearing Speedos anymore for a reason. He was wearing shorts. But what the? I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I like all sorts of chubby
he
wrestlers. I don't.
He looked
care.
great in the ring. He still can move.
Yeah, he didn't look out of breath. He didn't look.
He looked
like,
strong. Yeah, and
I
that guy,
think he just couldn't work out. He just couldn't stay in shape. He'll get there.
Give him 2 weeks, he'll have a six pack again. These guys are incredible athletes. So, but no,
and
I'm happy.
Does a whole thing, doesn't he? Doesn't he run a whole he gets other people
Celtic workouts? Yeah,
yeah. I'm not worried about it. But he did look. I mean, it is what it. I mean, I looked at him. I was like, whoa, all right. You're like, and the thing with poor Sheamus too is that when you're pale, you're always going to look chubbier than what you would perceive as well because you're. That's why people get tan, right? So they look more in shape. That's why you don't wear, stripes, so on. Like it is what it is. I didn't care. He could have came out looking like Yokozuna when Sheamus is Sheamus. What do I care?
But I'm excited to see him back. I'm curious to see what he does.
Yeah.
He could be a good potential heel for Sami Zayn to go with the Intercontinental Championship. He can do other things. He could be a foe for Damian Priest as a babyface. So there's options for Sheamus. So I'm excited to have him back.
With the Sheamus thing, isn't it sad that he was wrestling Ivar, who's a heavy set wrestler, and everyone loves Ivar, but since Sheamus was a six pack before he left and he comes back chubby, that's like a thing. Like why can't the man just be a little dude? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Most people in line for chubby due to laziness. This guy got a little bit chubby due to not being able to work out because he was physically injured, and we're like harping on him. Like, give the dude a break, man. Y'all choose to be fat. Let this guy be there. Like, what in the world, man? We're like over here, like, it's just stupid. It's stupid. It is what it is. All right, you ready? Let's get into our segment.
Yeah. So today we're gonna
talk with this. I know it.
We do. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, time to get them. They ain't hating, just listen. If you don't agree, man, they get it. They gon' say it with their chest, even if you upset. They can take their heat, none of this get some stress. This is something they been holding in. Two dudes ain't afraid to tell them what it is. And you might even agree. So open up your minds, come and listen to the team.
So I'm looking at my unpopular opinions, and most of them are literally things I already talked about. I'm so stupid. I always try not to talk about them, and now I have. So maybe I can think of some as we go along. But as always, Ryan enjoys wrestling, gets to go first because he is our current IC champion. So
that's right, and a pudgy Sheamus too. So
you know what's so funny? You posted about Sheamus and about that, and I was literally like, I thought of like the Spider-Man meme. I'm like, Sheamus do look like Ryan enjoys wrestling now.
I think I look more like
Sheamus
than Sami Zayn. Yeah.
I think you need to. I'm growing a beard right now. I think you need to do it and do the ugly Sheamus beard. Will your wife allow it?
If Sami Zayn shaves his head and cut his beard, I think I could look like Sami Zayn. But right now, I think I look like Sheamus because he's big time.
Yeah, and Sheamus did come back to his old music. I like that too.
Yeah, that was good.
So up first,
my unpopular opinion. I don't want Uncle Howdy to come back to the WWE. There. I feel better after saying it. I don't.
We just lost ratings.
I know. I don't think I'm like all these QR codes and the screen going, staticky during certain segments and stuff. Like it was cool 2 years ago when it was Bray Wyatt. And now that, I expect it, unless they do it's something that we don't expect, then I'll be okay with it. But if it is Uncle Howdy and it's Bo Dallas, I don't want him. And it's no disrespect. I have no problem with Bo Dallas coming back to WWE. I have no problem with the WWE honoring the late, great Bray Wyatt. But I'm just not that excited about a potential Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy return to the WWE. And apparently now there's talks that Eric Rowan isn't taking indie dates anymore because of contractual obligations. So now there's talks. That means that he might be coming back. And Alexa Bliss might be on the way back, and Braun Strowman. Yeah, so they're going to do like the Wyatt 6, but there's only going to be 5 of them, and Bray Wyatt's going to be the honorary 6th member. And Matt Hardy too is apparently a part of it as well, because he was part of Bray Wyatt, that tag team in the past. Like, and maybe none of this is happening. Maybe they're just all coming back, and they're going to be their own characters, and Uncle Howdy and Alexa Bliss are going to be their thing. But either way, I don't want to see it. And it's no disrespect. I just feel like that's Bray's idea. That's Bray. Those are Bray's thoughts. That was his thing. And I understand his brother wanting to carry on his legacy. I do. I appreciate it. I get it. It makes sense. But it's just, to me, And maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll change my tune whenever I see it. But to me, it's just not going to hit the same without Bray Wyatt. So as I would rather them just not do it and let the memory of the Fiend and the Wyatt Six and Uncle Howdy rest with Bray Wyatt himself.
So that's probably the most unpopular opinion you're going to have. But I agree with you. I'm not for it at all. I love Bray Wyatt. You can go back and listen to our podcast. We were pissed off, and I'm still pissed off to say that Triple H and Vince never used him correctly, but then aired a video acting like they did. That man deserves so much better than who he was and what he created. But I like Bo Dallas. Bo is like, was he not the longest reigning NXT champion of all time? I think he still is to this day. Maybe somebody else passed him up, but I mean, the dude had a career. All you got to do is Bo leave. I mean, I'm mad at him right now because he's digging on somebody I want to dig on, and that's Liv Morgan. What the hell? He has no right to be anywhere near Liv Morgan, but that's a personal issue. But I want him to come back as him. I don't need this. But like you said, we're allowed to have judgment without knowing what it is. I'll let it cook. If they want to dedicate it to him and then they run with it, but I don't want it to be like this is what we are and bringing up Bray all the time and harping on it and doing that. And I want Bray's legacy to be what it is. And I want them to they all had good careers on their own. They don't need to do this. If they're going to, maybe it'll work. I'm all for it if that's what they want to do. If that's what they want to do, so be it. I'll let it cook. But I'm just not for it now. I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, no, I'm completely agree. And again, I love Bray Wyatt as well. And we were big fans of Bray, and may he rest in peace. But I just don't. I don't need to see this. Bring back Bo Dallas as another character, and bring Alexa Bliss back. Let her win the Women's World Championship next week. Like Braun Strowman is a main eventer, ready to he could become a heel and take on Cody Rhodes. You know, he could be a good opponent for Cody. But I don't need to see this faction of people in the WWE. So I mean, I'll let it cook and I'll see what happens. But it's just not going to be the same without Bray Wyatt.
I agree. All right, I found one I didn't say. All right. Damian Priest should be the WWE champion for a while. And with that said, he should also defeat CM Punk when CM Punk returns and beats Drew once they face off. I don't even think Priest should hold this for a couple months. I think Priest should beat Drew and CM Punk. I think they need to give Damian Priest some love, some respect. And with Liv Morgan possibly joining them, I think this is time for Judgment Day to finally reconcile and be that faction we've always wanted them to be. But yes, I want Priest to beat both these men, especially CM Punk, dead in the ring. I want Priest to be that guy. I don't want him to be these champions like Alberto Del Rio and other guys where they win it and then they lose it in 2 months the first time they face Punk or Drew McIntyre. Hell no. I want him to have a good reign. That's my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know. I still don't know if Liv Morgan's going to join the Judgment Day. I like the idea.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That was one of my unpopular opinions, but I
feel like
I'll forget it now.
I could see. I don't think Drew or Punk need the title, and I think that CM Punk is too injury prone right now to even be in the title picture.
I agree.
So I don't even think they'll have him go after Damian Priest. I see Finn Balor going after Damian Priest at SummerSlam. Maybe Finn Balor wins Money in the Bank or something like that, and then he faces Damian at SummerSlam. And I don't think Finn Balor's going to win it. But I do agree with you long term that Damian Priest deserves a long championship reign, at least 6 months, maybe 8 months, around there. I think he deserves it. The Judgment Day carried Monday Night Raw at the end of 2023 when everyone was complaining about Raw. It was Judgment Day versus Cody Rhodes. It was Judgment Day versus Seth Rollins. But they were carrying Monday Night Raw, and Damian Priest was a big part of that. And I think he deserves a long championship reign as well.
All right. All right. Yeah. What's your last one?
Oh, my last one. I don't know if I can see Roman Reigns as a babyface. I know we talked about this, and you compared it to MJF. And which, I can get behind it, but and I have no doubt that the WWE, with the regime that we have now, they can make it because they've done a great job booking baby faces and making them cool and making them worth cheering instead of shoving them down our throats like Vince McMahon used to do. So, but I don't know. I love heel Roman. I love
Mhm.
heel Roman. Heel Roman is fantastic. That it's going to be hard for me to be like, for him to come back and be like, acknowledge me, man. It's great to be back in New York City. Like being that
Mhm.
cheesy baby face. Like I don't want to see that. So I don't know if it's more of an opinion or just I don't really know, but I'm just having a hard time envisioning Roman Reigns coming back as a babyface.
Well, that's one we disagree on. So first, cheesy, because I want him to be babyface, and
I want him.
think,
I want him to
I think,
too. I'm just
he
having a hard
can.
time seeing it. Yeah.
Well, I think the fans turning on Cody now is a prime example that he'll get cheered even more so than we think. And I think it's about time because I think he's going to do it not being shoved down our throats. He's going to do it being earned by his work in the ring, and I think he deserves that applause. And whatever
I agree.
whatever bloodline he's in, Wolfpack or not, that he deserves that long ending to his career as a babyface, so people acknowledge him truthfully. And I think when they do now, I think it's going to be fun when he says "acknowledge me" and everybody does. I think it's going to be a cool thing.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I mean, I agree. I think he should be a baby. I'm just having a hard time envisioning him, this character, this iteration of Roman as a babyface with that theme song and that the aura that he has. I just have a hard time. Like that's a guy you want to boo. That's a guy you want to see defeated. So like unless he does like a complete 180 with his attitude change and everything, then but then again, you lost the title after 1,316 days. You can't come back and be all happy go lucky. I'm happy to be back in Boston. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
no.
I'm just having a hard
baby face. He'll come back and still do it, but he'll get cheered and he'll take it in. He's not gonna be like Cody Rhodes. He's not.
I'll see what they do.
And,
I'll see what they do. I'm having a hard time seeing it. I'm just having a hard time envisioning him as a babyface. But I do think he deserves a babyface run, and he deserves praise from the fans. But I love heel Roman so much that it's going to be hard to let that go.
Yeah, well, true that. So my other two, I had the whole Liv Morgan one, and I had the Cody Rhodes. Everyone's like complaining about him, but this is who Cody Rhodes has been. I already discussed that and talked about it. So I'm going to go with this. My unpopular opinion is Triple H era has been in full effect. Secondary titles, secondary people, everything's moving up. The World Heavyweight titles felt important. He's building stars. Cody Rhodes wasn't even a star in his own damn organization that he created. He's a star here. But there's one thing that has not been cooking, and every other wrestling organization has done better, including NXT, including AEW, including Impact, and that's the women's division. This women's division is a freaking joke. And I think it's just lack of time. They had 3 matches in all of 2 nights of WrestleMania. All their matches don't get longer than 7 minutes. We were building someone like Tiffany Stratton up, and then we just have her lose to Naomi again. But why did Naomi even lose to her to begin with? We're not building stars. Do I think Liv Morgan can save this right now with Rhea coming back? Sure. But what's Bayley doing? Instead of building a nice hot feud, she's wrestling her friend. I don't even know what they're doing with this damn women's division. And then we've been needing a secondary title for the women forever, and it goes to NXT. It's not even Triple H who created it. It's the man that everyone thinks is disgusting towards women, Shawn Michaels. That guy's defending the women's division more so than Triple H is. So I don't know what's going on with Triple H if he doesn't. We've already established that he doesn't know how to build factions. He doesn't know how to book them at all. I don't know if maybe he
apparently he's racist and keeps all the races together. In fact,
what a racist piece of garbage. But and yeah, he's sexist too. That's why the women's division. No, I just think he doesn't know how to book them. I think he just can't think of it. But we need somebody. I don't know if he needs to bring Stephanie back, and that's why they're doing that, because supposedly she's back. Maybe they need something. But this women's division has been booked awful. These girls become stars because they're stars. We're not building stars here at all.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Naomi. She was like the hottest woman outside of wrestling, and now she's like meh.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And then even Jade Cargill, it feels like she's lost a little bit of her luster because she's having some of the same exact matches that she had in AEW, a lot of squash matches and everything. Yeah. And then, poor Bayley, man, like they completely took her great story and put it off to the side on the build to WrestleMania. And she wasn't even on any of the promotional stuff. She wasn't at the press conference. She's been completely overshadowed. And yeah, this women's division, I mean, and losing Rhea Ripley is going to hurt. I know whether it's a storyline, whether she's going to be gone for 5 months, 6 months, whether this injury is legit or not, it's going to hurt not having Rhea Ripley. But, Liv Morgan can save it. Bayley can save it. They could get Charlotte Flair back. So there's still some hope. Becky Lynch needs to come back and do some stuff. But I agree with you that it's been booked terribly over the last few months.
I mean, look at the simple booking they had. They had Naomi and Bianca Belair fighting over who can trust Bayley. The person who trusted Bayley is the one she's facing next.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have Bianca facing her. Bianca isn't like feuding because she didn't trust her and she still doesn't trust her, or
you would think,
I'm confused.
It's booking 101 right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just feel like he does not know what to do with these women. They need more time. They need more matches. You can't just every SmackDown had how many segments with women? One? Was that the only one? Bayley and
I think
Tiffy?
so. Yeah.
Was that it on SmackDown? There was no Bianca. There was no.
No, I don't think Jade did anything. No.
I'm looking back at my notes. That was it. That was the only. They had one segment on a 2-hour show. One segment. So, and even on the women's, the only segments was Liv, other than Nia Jax coming out. So, yeah, WWE needs to do better. This Triple H era that everyone's loving, it ain't perfect, fam. So, let's get to it, Triple H. Let's get to it. All right. That's our WWE episode. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, continue to follow us. We are killing it. We're at 1.12 now. We're just moving on up fast and surely. And we just posted a video in one of my shorts. It's already over 10,000 views. I'm not even reading the comments. So I'm assuming people are shitting on it, but I don't care. It's blowing up. But if you like me, you like hearing what I say, follow me at HBD Denton on everything. That's TikTok and Instagram and X, even though I'm over X. And yeah, man. And as always, I'm with my dude, the one, the only.
Ryan enjoys wrestling. I'm just a dude who enjoys pro wrestling, and we're two dudes who enjoy pro wrestling. So subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't done so already. Help us boost this algorithm up a little bit, get some love going, and then subscribe on or follow us on Apple and Spotify. Leave us 5-star ratings and reviews because we need to get that going. And then follow us on X at 2DudesPC. And we promise probably next week we're going to start doing some TikTok exclusive content again.
Yep.
And so go follow us over there at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. And
we're gonna add some watch alongs too, right? Let's add some watch, even if it's old ones again. We need some watch alongs.
Yeah, we're gonna do some big things here in the latter half of 2024 because it's still gonna be the year of the dudes. I've been saying it since day one-ish. We're gonna continue our growth. So
yes, sir.
Appreciate everyone's love and support. And 2 Dudes, we're out.
Attitude. Wolfpack, we out.
With attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton.